All right, people. Today, I know the video I'm making called, something to drink. Um, but this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about y'all receive. We need to upgrade from the so-called white people, and um, the reason what made me bring this up because I was talking about it off camera earlier. You know what I'm saying? I was just saying how we was talking about all this political stuff about voting and all that kind of stuff, and how our people, um, our people have been voting and voting and voting and voting and voting and all that type of stuff for these people, and we've been looking at these different presidential people who've been getting in offices and all that kind. I don't even matter of fact, I hate that so much. I don't even mention none of them in my video blogs, nothing because they're not worth it. You know who's worth me mentioning? My own people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, which are the real Jews according to the Bible. That is my only concern, and that is my all of us knowing our nationality and knowing who we are according to the Bible. That's what's important to me. It has nothing to do with this political stuff that's going on around. Nothing else matters. My nationality and who I am according to God is what matters. And my people matters to me. My so-called black, Hispanic, and they, my brothers and sisters. That's what matters to me. Nothing else in this world matters to me, man. You see what I'm saying? And if you look at over the centuries, how people look at this political stuff, who's voting and this and that, I'm voting for this person, I'm voting for so and so and this and that and the third. Here we are living in this so-called 2022, so-called 2022, and y'all got to ask yourselves this here. Y'all so-called black people is working on the police force, okay? Y'all so-called Hispanic and Native American people also are working on the police force. Latinos and Native Americans are working on the police force for your enemy. And you have to ask ourselves, what changed? We still down at number one, down at zero, trying to go up we're trying to upgrade. It's like a child being in first grade and trying to pass and go to second grade. And every time he failed, he got to sit back a whole nother year. And then we've been sitting back for years in this condition and nothing never changed. The only thing that's going to help make it change is our people got to come back according to Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. We got to start keeping it. We got all of us, including myself. That's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you nothing that I'm not trying to make steps in doing. Keep the commandments of them, all the commandments, learn the 613 commandments because it's more than just 10. The Christian church been teaching us is 10, but it's more than 10. It's 613. You see what I'm saying? It's actually more than that. So we got to get up out of that state. You see what I'm saying? Realize that we have waiting for a nation that cannot help us. Lamentations 5, it says that we have waited for a nation that cannot save us. We relying upon the powers that be to do it, and it's not going to happen. The people is not going to help you. They not. I keep telling our people this, and you got other people out there who are way smarter than me telling them the same thing. The so-called white man is not your friend. They're your enemy. And I'm not going to let anybody make me feel guilty for telling the truth, because it's true. He is not your friend. If he's your friend, then you have to ask yourself, why are we still in the predicament that we're in today? And then people will say, well, you got to get out and go work. You thought about it, you can change certain things. Of course you can change, but you still got to go to your enemy to get everything. So you still working for your enemy. Whether you do it honestly or whether you go out there and work and do it, of course, we all know we got to work for us. But the resources that you got, you still got to go to your enemy to get it all. Guess what you're doing? You still serving your enemy. Anytime you got to be subject to payments and subject to having driver's license, insurance, and all that type of stuff before you get your ass on the road and drive your damn car. What the hell is that if it ain't slavery? If you don't have that, what can happen to your ass? You can go straight to goddamn, Esau gonna put them cuffs on you and lock your ass up, take that damn car, tow that damn car, and then turn around and tow you too with them cuffs behind your back. But you sitting up there, y'all sitting up there saying, y'all is something that's ignorant, bro. But you want to get mad at me, like, oh, he losing money. Oh, he gonna mess his money up. No, I'm telling you, fuck money. I'm telling the truth. Truth, I love the truth. I love money, but I love the truth more. I don't know why people want to sit around here and be ignorant. And the enemy just sitting back just laughing at them and they don't even know it. No, I'm not compromising the truth. That's not what they want. That's what people want me to do. I'm not doing that. This is the mission that the Most High called me to do, and I'm doing it. And when I get ready to go, when I'm going to go to the streets, this is how I want to speak. And I'm going to speak. We got to wake up out that slumber, man. Wake up and separate. He said, separate yourself from your enemy and take heed of your friend. What is that? I think it's 2 Maccabees 13 and 6. I believe. I might be wrong. One of them. I think it's 1 Maccabees 13 and 6. One of them. It says, separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed of thy friend. It's telling you plainly, because your friend ain't gonna your enemy is not gonna have your best interest at heart. I don't know what the hell unless we confuse on the definition of what that means. If you're confused on the definition of what it means, it's what an enemy means and what a friend is. Find out that, look, let me challenge y'all. Go and look up the definition of enemy and then tell me what that means. And while y'all doing it, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go and look it up and I'm going to find out and get the definition of what an enemy is. And I'm going to come back in another video blog and I'm going to address it with part 2. That's what I do. Because let me tell you something about our people. Our people hate to pick up a book. They hate to study. They hate you, and they hate you with a passion. Because they got the same hatred that the enemy got. They don't want you to pick up no book. They don't want you to do nothing. They just want everything. Oh, he finna pick up the Bible. He finna pick up a book. He finna do this. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. That goes to show you shitting in your God. You shitting in God's face. You shitting in your God's face. You shitting on your Messiah, on the black Messiah, but you want him to give you all kind of. We want him to give us all kind of riches and wealth, but we shitting in his face. How you expect to sit up there and shit and spit in a man on the black Messiah's face, and then sit up there and expect for him to give you largest amounts of blessing? That's not right. That's like a person wants you to help them, but they don't want to do nothing to help you. It's like a person coming to your house, picking you up to do work for them, but they don't want to. They want to enslave you, and they want you to treat them good. But when it comes down to them, they want to be tight. That's not right. The Bible says, "Don't lend usury up on your own brother." And that's what a lot of our people are doing. They don't give a damn. They all for themselves. And this is how we are when we come to the so-called white man. The so-called white man put it in our head that we can use each other. And the reason you do it and you brainwash to do it, it's in your spirit to do it because you've been beat. It's been beat into you that that's what you should do. Doing slavery when they beat our ancestors and all that kind of stuff. Then they want to say, oh, you still living. You need to upgrade and you need to forget about slavery and move forward and this and that and the third. When the Bible tells you in Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7, he said, remember the days of old. What the hell? What does that mean? When he said, remember the days of old. Look up the definition of the word remember. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do is look up the word, the definition of the word remember, the days of remember something. What does he mean when he say remember? What is that talking about? If he tell you to remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations, ask thy fathers and they will tell thee, ask thy elders and they will tell thee, ask your fathers what went on, what happened to them in their day, things of that nature. Start doing research on it. The Most High tell you is to remember it, and remember those things. He telling you remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. He had a reason for saying remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. And who was he talking to? He was talking to the Israelites. He was only talking to Israel. He wasn't talking to no other nation that he brought out of Egypt. There's no other nation that he brought out of Egypt except the ones who went in slavery. The ones who went through dramatized and went through beaten and being beaten and worked hard and stuff like that. It's only the Hebrews. No other nation never experienced that. So how can everybody be God's people when only one people went through that traumatized? Everybody is not a child of God. Everybody is not a Hebrew Israelite. Everybody is just not, because everybody didn't go through slavery. So how you gonna say God loves everybody when Isaiah chapter 45 verses 17 said, Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You should not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That's only the John 3:16 is in Isaiah 45 and 17 is the context of John 3:16 of who it was talking about. It's not talking about it's not universal. John 3:16 is not universal. It only applies to one nation of people, and that's the nation of Israel. That's it. John 3:16 does not apply to the whole world because everybody didn't go through slavery. Only God's chosen people is the one that went through slavery. The so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native American woman, and black woman, and all them, they went through slavery. And the reason you don't know that is because you don't do no research. You want to go on your feelings and your opinions and all that kind of stuff. Religion, you got to throw religion. Religion is white supremacy. Religion is something that you can't prove. Religion was something that was given to you and passed down through by your oppressors. Religion came from the so-called white man. They pushed that on our people when they took and beat our nationality out of our people. When our forefathers and foremothers got off them slave ships, then they turn around and beat you and reprogram you and push white supremacy and push the Roman Catholic religion up on our people. That's why a lot of our people is subjugated to feel like they need to serve that. You see what I'm saying? But they're not teaching you anything about your nationality or your inheritance, our inheritance of nationality. None of that. We didn't learn these things in the Christian church. The Christianity church teaches you is to love everybody. Sweet Jesus gonna bust a white man gonna bust the sky, and he gonna come down and he gonna say that's not what that's talking about, bro. That's not gonna happen. If you sitting back looking for that, then if a white so-called, like the brother was saying, if the so-called white man cracked them sky, we're gonna go right back into the same condition as we was before Christopher Columbus. And when Christopher Columbus came over here and conquered America, and then went around and conquered, raped, robbed, and murdered Spain, and took the Mexicans and the Portuguese, enslaved those people, and conquered them and called them Hispanic people. And the word Hispanic just means the property of Spain. So we got to get up out of that, people. That's what I'm trying. That's what was on my spirit, and I had to come and tell y'all. If anything, go do your research. So-called, yeah. A lot of people, man. Yeah, they don't want that. They want to hear smooth things. I can tell they don't want to hear it. They want to hear something that sounds good. No. The Most High created me for this, and I'm going to speak on what the Most High told me to speak on. Yeah, let people know, man. I don't support that white man's bullshit. Because I'm not a white supremacist. Trying to get my shit right. Yeah, a lot of people don't like that. I can tell by the way when I talk, they get really, it's like, have you ever been, I'm gonna ask y'all this here. Have y'all ever been around people and you speaking just like I speak? Think about it. Hold on. Have y'all ever like been around certain people and you passionately talked about stuff like this here, and all of a sudden you be the only one talking and they don't really say it. They just sit there and they go to getting quiet. They just sit there in a quiet mode like they or whatever, and then they try to make an excuse and say, "Oh well, I don't like to argue over the word," and they're using it as a scapegoat to try to see if they can basically dispute what you're saying. They'll say, "Well, I don't like to argue." That's their way of trying to dispute what you're saying. Could whether it determine whether it's true or not. Somebody out around on the side, but if y'all know what I'm talking about, they'll turn around and try to use certain words and stuff and try to say that he loves every. They go straight to John 3:16, and I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I understand and know that that's it's not true. I'm doing the best I can. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta. We just been taught wrong, and a lot of people they just, you know what I'm saying? They don't want it, man. So um, that's what I want to do, man. Get more built up in the spirit, and just go out and just go to telling people, man. I need to learn how to go through that walk, that fire with that. With doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see y'all later, man. I ain't got nothing else to say right now, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do another video and make up for the one I did and just put another part with it. The video is entitled "We Need to Upgrade from the So-Called White people." All right, I'm out.